Well, we got some talent here now, don't we? Noah, I'll start with you. We'll go from this way to that way, okay? So you guys can get prepared. Simo, I spoke to Simo yesterday, and one of the things he said stuck with me. He said the kids are taking over the club. There's a lot more of your age people than there is of the older generation now. Are you taking over?
I wouldn't necessarily say taking over, but we have a bit of fun together at the moment. As Simo did touch on, we are young and gotten young quickly, so to go into the club every day with your best mates is super enjoyable.
Reuben, I'm glad you're sitting there. I do not like standing next to or sitting next to Reuben Ginbey because that is a man mountain. How big are you now? Because I've seen you at training. You look ginormous. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger levels. How tall? What weight? They're not in the record anymore, so I need to ask you personally. You look unbelievable.
Thanks. I think you've overhyped me a little bit there, but about 190 and 90 kilos, so hopefully keep growing a little bit though.
Yeah, okay. Not bad at all. Okay, we'll keep working on ourselves. Harley, I don't know much about you, mate. I didn't even realise you were in Perth.
Yeah, I just arrived recently, so yeah, thanks for having me.
What has it been like? Because, in my time in footy, I've never seen anything like this, the hype that's come around you. How have you handled it personally? Been on the paper every day, been in the news every night, everybody in town wants to talk to you. What's that like?
Yeah, it's obviously pretty interesting and a bit daunting at times, I feel, but again, it's pretty humbling to have such, I think that aspect behind me that comes with it. But again, it's for me to walk the walk is something that I strive myself on and kind of motivates me to get out there and
In terms of the club, because I know they're really doing their absolute best to sort of wrap around you and just keep you focused on the footy. What have they done in terms of having that support for you?
Yeah, to be honest, the club's been great, I feel, and when I get to work in the club, it doesn't feel like any of that external noise is anything to me, and it doesn't feel like it's on me because I've got such a great bunch and support system around me from the younger boys to the older boys. So, I couldn't thank every single one of them enough, and probably goes a bit disguised to them, but mentally it helps me very a lot, and I'm pretty thankful for that.
That's fantastic to hear. Now, Noah, we rewind 12 months, and us journos who stand up on the hill there at Lathlane and we're trying to figure out what's going on out there on the track and who's out there, who's not, what are you doing? And we kept saying last year, who is this little bloke that's just charging around? He looks super skillful, he's tough. And we kept looking it up, and you're the second last bloke picked in the draft. Can you tell us about that transition from going from an under-18s player to almost not getting drafted to suddenly you're playing almost every week and you really look like you belonged? How did you do that?
Oh, it was quite a whirlwind, really. It's you go from being a kid and then moving across the other side of the country, and it was busy. But as Harley sort of touched on, coming into the club, it was such a warm environment, and it gave me the best opportunity to be myself and learn the ropes a little bit. And I just tried to learn as much as possible, and then that helped me learn the game plan and things like that, and then led to me being lucky enough to play a few games last year. So it was a busy couple of months, but super enjoyable as well.
Well, you look like you fit in perfectly. And speaking of that, Reuben, some of the jobs you had last year, we saw you standing next to big Tom Green, who's one of the best midfielders in the comp, and a lot of roles similar to that, defensive midfield stuff. Firstly, can you tell us what it was like going up against a guy like Tom, who I think there are some similarities between you two, and then what your role might be this year?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I think last year I was so grateful to be able to get a pretty big taste of AFL footy, to play the first 17 games and to be able to string some decent games together and also some not so good ones. I think that's where you learn a lot about the AFL environment and really ride those highs and lows of footy. But to play on those bigger midfielders like Cripper and Clayton Oliver and Tom Green, those boys have really strived me to, I guess, come to this pre-season a bit bigger and stronger, because I thought I was smaller than them, so I thought I could have been fitter than them, but they ran me off my feet as well. So it's just finding that balance between strength and power, but also endurance. So it's definitely takes a few years, but I think I'm a bit more prepared this year and hopefully can take it up to them.
We definitely got them covered physically now, I think. Harley, in your profile when we were reading it out, when you got your jumper before, it mentioned that you played for 6 teams last year. What was that like? And then compare that to now, you're with the same bunch of blokes every week. You don't have to learn new names every day. It must be nice to just be fitting in somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. At early age last year when I was kind of filtering through different sides, it was pretty daunting coming in and getting different game plans, which obviously they mirror off their AFL program structures, etc. So that was pretty hard for me, and to come in here, and now I feel like I've got a place where I belong and I can settle in, and it was pretty cool playing VFL. You look around, you're playing with a few AFL listed and playing against AFL listed, and now for me to come into an AFL system and look around and see some of the players that I'm playing along with is pretty special, and to learn, like I've been lucky enough to go through most of the positions on the field Semo's put me through, so I've loved that challenge and that aspect to it, and to see in some of the lines I play in to have like Gov, TB, Yowie, like the list goes on, like it's pretty special, and I feel it's something for me that where I can improve is just looking at the way they go about it, because it's so special, and the career they've had to this day is pretty cool.
It's funny, you don't sound like a bloke who doesn't want to be here, just saying. Noah, you knew Harley before. How did you guys know each other, and what was that relationship like, and how has it helped you transition, Harley? And you know her as well, having someone around that you know for quite a while.
So me and Longy went to the same school, but just a bit before I got there in high school, he'd left to go to a private school, you know what all that's about. But I wasn't... I didn't have the academic skills. Again. And then I was lucky enough to play under 18s Pioneers with Longy in the NAB League and Coach League. And we were lucky enough to play a bit of Vic Country together. And it's been so good to finally end up with him again and play a bit of footy, because the step I've seen him from under 18s to AFL now, it's pretty special to see the way he's moving out on the field now.
No. Me and Harley did grow up a little bit together, but it's also super exciting to play with someone. Obviously, I watched him pretty closely last year. To be able to play with him now, and how exciting he is to watch, and be able to see that firsthand now is pretty spectacular.
Reuben, you went to a community camp down in your town, Dunsborough, and we saw vision. It was like the Beatles or Taylor Swift had come to Dunsborough with you. Everyone wanted to know Reuben Ginbey. Everyone wanted to... What was that like? Because a kid who grew up there just playing footy, and now you're their god.
Yeah, it's community footy in small towns like Dunsborough and other country towns is massive. So I still remember, it wasn't the last Eagles community camp, but I remember in 2014 or 15, I remember seeing Matt producing the shops. Me and my mates waited with our skateboards and scooters out the front for about an hour just to get a photo with him. So that's the kind of thing you remember forever, and hopefully I was able to do those kids at Dunsborough Prime and also the footy club. And it's just great to be able to get in those communities and show your face as an AFL player, especially as a young man that's coming out of that town, and hopefully to inspire the boys and girls and show them that they really can make it from down south. So.
Fantastic. Now, lastly, Noah, I want to hear about your debut in the AFL and what that week was like for you and what the day was like. And then we'll ask you as well, Reuben, and then we'll get to you, Harley, about what's possible this week. So, Noah, what was that day like in that week?
It was a busy week. So we probably found out later in the week that I was going to play alongside Reuben, and it takes a while for it to sink in. You sort of can't believe it, because your first couple of months at the club do go quickly. But then once it sinks in, you do start to get pretty nervous, and you start to sort of understand what you're about to undertake. And from them nerves, the nerves stay, but then you get really excited, and to be able to live out your sort of dream as a kid is exciting. So I just remember it as a super exciting week.
Yeah, that mix between the nerves and excitement, and getting my 6 family members and host mum across on the plane with us was all pretty cool. And I think it's just, you just need to get that first kick, or for me it was probably first tackle. That's about all I did that day, but that's how you really just find your feet, and then the nerves go away, and then you just start playing footy, which you've been doing since you're about 8, 9 or 10, so then the footy just takes over.
How many ticket requests did you get, Noah, all up? Or how many are you allowed? What's the deal?
Oh, well, I can't really remember. Maybe about 10.
About 10? That's not bad. You, Reuben?
I think I had 6, because we had Longy's family was in Melbourne, but we had to go from Dunsborough and make the travel. So.
Now, Harley, obviously the team's not named till, what day is it today? A couple of days. But if you do get a chance to run out there, whether it is this week or next week or whenever, what do you think that's going to be like?
Obviously pretty special. I suppose a lot of memories come from your first game, and I've just loved playing the 2 pre-season games early on. It was hard to find my feet early on, so much was going on, but again, it's good to get out there and play your natural game, and all the boys behind me to get out there and play to my strengths, and they give me that license to go out there and have fun, and why you start playing footy in the first place is because you enjoy it and have fun. So yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the future of the West Coast Eagles, Noah Long, Reuben Ginbey and Harley Reid. Well done, boys.